majorly driven by the agenda for AI for good, AI for all, lobbying plus research organization, but now turned into more active practitioner organization where a lot of leaders, a lot of organizations like the Google DeepMinds and Hugging Face and all those people and their executives have been a part of this, which started this not-for-profit community. And today, as we speak, the organization is expanding. Europe, it's already there, but for the past 2 years, APAC region and India region, we were one of the very first people to start the India APAC active practitioner organization. So that's where a lot of leaders, a lot of organizations like the Google DeepMinds and even royal families and all those, and other executives who are kind of are the patrons of the organization. But eventually, agenda, if in simple terms, the agenda is nobody loses their jobs because of AI. And whatever is required for that, be it the awareness, the literacy on ground, the collaborations, the upskilling, reskilling, platform collaborations. So all that stuff is what organization as a charter leads. So this is more about the organization. And of course, in APAC, they organize a lot of events specifically for CIOs, CTOs, and tech leaders and CEOs. More focused on AI implementation in organizations, that kind of learnings. There are closed door CXO roundtables, and then there are terms the agenda is nobody loses their job as well. And the finest event happens in Amsterdam, annual event Amsterdam and Singapore, where there's a global congregation of leaders. So happy to welcome you all, Dr. Shakti, Mr. Manoj, for this session, and would pass on the baton to you to quickly introduce yourself. And also we move to the first question where we talk of, what is the current state of enterprise reality of AI deployment? Maybe some use cases or some information from your side generally, that what do you see is the current layer and current challenges? And then in the second round, maybe we'll also discuss how are we navigating it, what stage we are at, what are the strategies, what are the tactics, and what are the areas where really it makes sense to have AI for ROI, right? At consumer scale businesses, at enterprise grade businesses. So these are the kind of practical discussions we'll be doing, and it will be very informal, freely flowing, unstructured, which the AI also loves and does, right? So more of an unstructured discussion, but trying to get real insights on, whatever is working, whatever is not working, and where is the most pressing need to actually solve problems with this new technology. So I pass it over to you, Dr. Shakti, to quickly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so thanks, Paras. Thanks, AI World. Thanks, Harneet, for having me here. This seems like a wonderful session, and based on the background that you explained, Harneet, it's extremely impressive at your young age. You've been able to accomplish so much, and I'm sure that going forward, more good things are going to happen. I'm also an alum of IIT Delhi. I'm from the Karakoram hostel. if you know what the Kumaon, Kumaon, yeah. So by education, I'm a chemical engineer, and I did my bachelor's, master's, PhD, and postdoc all in chemical engineering. But then I realized that is not the field I want to continue in. And while I was doing my PhD, all my work was around mathematical modeling, handling large amounts of data. So this was in 1995. At that time, computers hardly used to have 200 MB or 128 MB of hard disk, And so here I had a chance to handle 16 GB of data, and all the work was done on Cray supercomputer. So that actually got me hooked into the field of data sciences, solving real world problems using data. And then my first job after graduation was to work on probably one of the largest data warehouses in the world. This was late 90s, where you would get 9 to 10 million transactions every night, and then you had to go and process them. So this is a time when Oracle had just started emerging. Wow. And they were Sun Microsystems as extended parallel servers. 1 terabyte of disk would cost $200,000 to $250,000, something like that. So since then, I've seen a lot happening in the area of data sciences. Had a chance to work on all 3 pillars, data analytics, data engineering, machine learning, and now more on the Gen AI side, the generative side. At Yatra, I work in the capacity of a chief data science officer, chief architect. And here, in travel space, there has been a lot of adoption, when it comes to AI. And when it comes to ML, and of course, when it comes to data analytics, it is there. No matter what company you look at, whether it's Yatra, Make My Trip, Ixigo, even C-Trip of China, which is the largest company, Expedia, Booking.com, everyone and everyone, works. And like here, like I've just mentioned the OTAs, even the hotels, airlines, how do they price their inventory? There's a lot of data science behind that. So travel industry has seen a lot. And at Yatra, we adopted, I joined Yatra 3 years ago, and we started working with generative AI models from July, August of 2023. That's the time when OpenAI was the only model, and Gemini had just introduced or was about to introduce things. So I would love to discuss a lot of the use cases we have worked on, and I think, like being able to learn from others is like also what I'm trying to see, how use cases have been implemented. You mentioned, Harneet, that you solved, the mind problem using data sciences AI. So would love to know more about it. And so that's where we are.
Sure. Thank
so
you.
Over to you, Manoj. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction, and thank you for setting the context, Dr. Shakti. We'll come to use cases and challenges and other areas in the second round. So move to Mr. Manoj. If you can also quickly introduce yourself and set the context about what you've been doing and what you've been facing.
Thank you very much. I'm still learning from Shakti sir. So now I would little bit go back to my area of time. I engineering graduate from Motila Allahabad, and started with the airlines. First is job with airlines. That was a opportunity got. Now, last 25 years, I'm associated with airlines and the travel industry, and work with the IBM, Paramount Airways, Air Sahara. There's so many travel company work. And now 5 years, I've also worked with the Fly Dubai. Now, 2020, 2016, I back to India, and now work with a couple of OTA, and last work with the Ismarty 4 years. And that was my domain. And coming back to the AI part, yes, we are couple of years we are listening about AI, Gen AI, and all those things. And initially, it was looked like is a buzzword, but trust me, today is no more buzzword. Is a ground reality. There are so many interpretation is going on. Let me tell you, first when I joined is my trip. Then immediately our call center was 120 people in call center, and we just started with the chatbot, very small piece of the chatbot, and just to pilot run, just to feel after chatbot how many call we can reduce. There are so many repetition call, so that was a wonderful experience. Our call volume is handled by 17% by chat only. So likewise, is a good experience, and also create a confidence. This is going to be next level of automation. Today, yes, you use the word ROI. Now it's very difficult to at this point of time. We are into transition phase. Some of the area basically is very difficult to calculate ROI. That is also a big question in a boardroom. Now we have to calculate total intangible benefit, how to get implementation of AI. Two basic burning question in market, how and where we can implement in AI. And trust me, most of people, this is my submission, most of people get confused. They are saying, yes, my peer is implementing AI, why should not me? But you require AI to implement, this is a very basic question. Your domain is getting benefit of AI, you have to talk yourself. This is a primary question. It's not like, say, your neighbor is doing AI, you have to do that. So first of all, you have to learn from yourself where AI can get benefited, and then you can calculate AI. Number one. If you ask me, I have last 4 years, I'm just not confused, but we are figuring out where we can, my priority to use AI. And trust me, now we are very clear. First, if you really want to, give the ROI, first of all, your AI should be implemented in customer-centric area where you can get revenue out of it, number one. Number two, go back to your internal processes, HR, some sales force team and all those things where you can implement your agentic AI.
Mm.
Be careful. What is the AI you're going to be implementing in customer centric area? And be careful when you implement agentic AI, because agentic AI is very robust system when you implement it, because this is going to be task-based information. You can give the task, you complete the task.
Right.
That is the agentic AI. But when you implement chatbot, yes, that's give you immediately revenue ROI, because your chat is communication with your customer, and that is immediately give the your response and immediately calculate.
Right.
So these are my overall submission about how AI we can land in the practical domain. Number one.
True.
And one more thing, I mean, this is again my perspective. I slightly disagree about the job perspective, because I am learning so many forum and everybody say no, there are job is protected after AI. But trust me, I can see most of department there. I can see now last down the line 5 years, maybe manpower is replaced by AI. Yes, your point is right. Until unless people not upskill themselves,
Mm.
they not upgrade themselves, they
Yeah.
lose the job. They remember 10 years, 20 years back, uh, typewriter
Mm.
and stenographer, where
Mm.
the job?
Mm.
No one is available now.
Right.
And even though today stenographer, your secretary, nobody taking secretary now.
Mm.
They can go and immediately they can send a mail, and everybody, whether CTO, CIOs, everybody writing their own mail.
Mm.
There are no secretary job. So
Mm.
what I'm saying, I create one what called prototype,
Mm.
how enterprise look like after 5 years. I can see HR department, IT department especially, and finance, sales, everybody, there are inside of the office is AI moving around, no manpower. That's I can see the visualization of a 5 year.
Very interesting, Manoj. And I totally agree with the point that AI should not be taken as, oh, this is a hype, this is the new trend, we have to really buy it, right? It's not like that. So I also remember when we started, a lot of journalists used to ask me that how much we should use AI, where should we use AI, all that stuff. I'm like, that's not the question. The question is something else. The question is, what is my problem which was not solvable a few years back? And maybe with this newer technology, I have a better way to solve it, and I have a better means to solve it. I guess that if we look at from first principles and that lens, then we figure out, okay, wherever there is a new way to do a old thing which I wanted to solve, or maybe there was a new thing which is possible which I've never thought of. I guess these are the areas or lens of thinking where people can do that, right? And I also have this interesting analogy which comes up as like, let's say people are running on horses and wheel is not invented old times when wars are fought on horsebacks, and people who were skilled were the skilled horse riders, the royals were skilled horse riders, and you need to learn horse riding even if you want to become a soldier or a royal, or you want to fight battles. And suddenly, let's say wheel is invented. So wheel is the AI akin, right? So now when wheel is invented, everybody's saying, oh, my horse needs to be wheel powered. And in the heist of doing that, they really don't understand the real importance or real I sell value of wheel. So what they do is they buy a wheel and put it in their hand, right, and run on this back of same horse, and call themselves wheel powered or AI powered, right? And eventually, people who have more push, more mandate, more budgets, they buy two wheels, hold it in their both hands, and sit on the back of same horse, even slowing down that horse. And eventually, this is what the state of a lot of current solutions, current enterprises, where they're trying to put things at the wrong place and then asking the right question, that where through the ROI can come from. So, but really, I guess the CIOs, the CTOs, the architects, they need to really figure out a way. If we go back to the same analogy, that how do we design a chariot using the horse and the wheels for my own use case, for my terrain, for my land, and then designing that as the biggest moat, defensibility, or application of an organization, rather than just plugging in AI in their existing processes. That's like having wheel, on top of the horse and not on the chariot. So that was the learning we also got, and essentially what that means is. Basically, when we even looked at so Shakti sir, when we were solving this mind problem, so the thing was for the past 15 years there were already algorithms which were trying to do vision, language identification, object identification, and all those computer vision algorithms were still existing. But with GenAI coming in, we asked that question: that is it possible to probably use human feedback in a better manner to train the machine to identify naval mines with a curated data set? So that's where we approached, vision language models for that use case, or language models for that use case, trained them on did supervised fine tuning of them with annotated and curated data set, and did that experiment with the help of the Navy personals, and figured out, yeah, this is working out with fairly small data set. We're able to get fairly large accuracy, which was not possible in the earlier computer vision models. And second was on device technology. So can I run it? So we built small language models which can run inside the premise, right? With even without internet, it just needs compute. So then, is it suitable for working inside the underwater submarine kind of thing? So these were the two questions we asked. The problem was existing, right? Problem of diffusing naval mines, or having submarines to diffuse naval mines with humans inside, was there for past 30, 40 years, right? The defense has been using that. People spend billions of dollars to safeguard their navy borders, right? Their ocean borders. And diffusing naval mines is a big problem for every navy, for that matter. But with AI coming in, we thought, yeah, this is a technology which could lead to better accuracy for the same unsolved problem. And I guess same framework we have for even enterprises, that what is the unsolvable problem which earlier you were not approaching because of lack of bandwidth, lack of funds, lack of people, lack of expertise. Is it something which AI can do? Is it something where AI could be utilized? So that was one of the use cases from our side. So Shakti sir, you were saying that wanted to know more on the mind side. So that's how we approached majorly through reinforcement learning. We improved the accuracy of models which can identify naval mines, and the impact of that is now you can send human soldiers and inside. You can send submarines inside ocean water without having human soldiers in it, and that's where it led to that impact of saving soldier lives with AI, because the impact is then huge, because we took the accuracy to 97.5%. The base accuracy was 77 to 78%. So that 15-20% jump actually led to deployed application in real time, and then of course led us to a huge success in all those related cases. And I guess that's where a lot of first principle thinking helps. Even in this entire project, we used only 30% of AI. Remaining 70% was regular SDLC, right? Regular algorithmic thinking, algorithm making, and 30% was large language model and transformer architecture. So I guess this is a question which people forget, because sometimes it becomes too trendy to only talk of existing new technologies, that we forget, okay, we have legacy code, we have new technology, we have our own aspirations. Where is it that things fall in the workflow? So with this context, I'll again go back to all of you, and I guess Ashish has also joined. Welcome, Ashish. So maybe
Yeah, hi, Mr. Ashish.
uh,
Thank you.
yeah. Hi, Ashish, can you, is it possible for you to switch on your video?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hitesh has also joined. Sure. So
Yeah,
we
hi,
will
Mr. Hitesh.
hi,
Hi
Hitesh.
everyone, sorry for joining late. Hey, Anil.
Yes, no worries, no worries. So we had done quick round of intros and set the context, but I'll quickly kind of reiterate it for you, and then we'll move to you guys for sharing your experiences. So this is a very unstructured, informal discussion of real challenges which we are facing when we talk of building agentic AI powered organizations or deploying AI use cases in our journey, right? So everybody is at different level in their organizations, different level of tech maturity, business maturity. So what is working, what is not working, some sorts of those kind of use cases where you're seeing the ROI, where you're seeing a lot of fluff. So that is one of the agendas of this discussion, to share your specific
Yeah,
experiences. Then we'll also share a lot of frameworks, our own mental models, use cases of how we are solving these problems, right? And in the last, we can also talk about a bit of how to you get the talent readiness, org readiness for this new world, for the AI world. So this is the context. Dr.
yes, sir.
Shakti and Manoj and myself, we have done a quick rounds of intro. So maybe we'll reiterate later. We go to Ashish and Dr. Hitesh, to both of you to give your intro and maybe, tell us your take on what is the current state with respect to your organization, your experience. What is the current reality? Uh, where is the current state of AI when we talk of organizational adoption and org readiness? And what is your current, I'll say, interests or use cases or areas where you are working on? So this you can cover briefly, yeah.
So I'm IT. In IT profession for 20 years, and I'm heading the IT for my organization. That's InterOcean, and we are like we started it, but we're not very much into AI right now. So we're just having a wait and watch approach right now. So I would be happy to have your experiences that are shared here. That'll be as a Bible for me.
Sure. And you can give your quick intros for everybody's reference. You mentioned you are more than 20 years in the IT industry. Maybe some more context about yourself.
Uh, I've worked in different verticals. Like started my career with a consulting in civil works. I was in the IT department there, of course, but they were really into construction supervision and all these architectural works, plus whatever the roads and bridges we have maximum out here in Delhi. They were the consultants to that. Then I had a take on my career. I went to a shipping company. That's the present one that I'm working with. Then I was for a short stint. I was in Kazakhstan for a EPC company. But all through in the IT domain, I was working. So that's more or less the career side of mine that I can give you a brief on.
Thank you. Great, Ashish. Welcome to this forum and happy to have your thoughts also later on as
Same
well.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Hitesh.
Okay, hi everyone. I am Hitesh. I head IT and projection sound for Cinepolis in India and all the Gulf countries. So primarily, I lead all the four countries in Asia. Uh, Coming to my experience, as Ashish mentioned, been in the industry for around 2 decades. Spent more than a decade with Ericsson, a telecommunication giant. Switched over to Cinepolis. It was a complete 360-degree shift because this industry was something which is very new for me. Coming on the AI, as mentioned by Ashish, we are also waiting. We have not yet initiated deploying any AI into our systems. The only AI that we use is primarily Copilot, which is provided by Microsoft for analysis purposes. And the teams are currently using all sort of AIs, starting from Emergent to ChatGPT to Claude to other tools which are now available, because every day there is a new tool coming up. My challenge at the moment, which I foresee, is to see that which AI fits the need, which can have so I can have a single AI which can work for, let's say, finance, HR, IT, and all different departments. And the other part of the problem statement that I have is basically of the data. All the times, all the team members are putting the data on the, let's say, GPT. So our internal documents also sometimes goes there. We don't have any control on those particular things. How to understand and build a LLM which can help us to keep those data secure, as well as complete all these journeys from for various departments. So that will be one of the probably a statement for us.
Fair enough. Thanks for adding that context, Hitesh. Will be definitely, I think the forum will be able to answer some of these questions and there'll be value on both sides. Great. I guess so. We continue the discussion. So what we were talking of is basically I was giving an example of where to use AI is the biggest challenge, and that's the biggest leadership decision as well. And first, some of the basic principles to ask is what was not possible when this technology was not there, and how can I redefine the entire process and not just fit, just tools to patch for certain work to catch up, but how can I redesign the entire framework? So I'll probably, since Dr. Shakti, you heard the whole context, right? I'll probably go to you to get your thoughts on the use cases a little bit deep on that, and then we'll move again with our other panelists to build upon that. So since you already mentioned you have done a couple of use cases deployment at Yatra and other places as well. So your insights on what is your mental model of figuring out where to deploy AI, and how does that journey start, and what are some of the use cases which have given you success?
Sure, Harneet, that's a very relevant topic to discuss because we all want to know, where to deploy AI and where it's going to help us. See, the first, the most fundamental thing about AI, I want to make sure that we all understand, and I think we do, that AI is not magic. If there's a system that's broken, AI is not going to automatically fix it. AI is more like a facade, a layer, and I'm referring more to agentic AI, which actually does things for you. You need working API infrastructure, you need high quality and curated data, and then you need a buy-in from the organization, from your stakeholders over the use of AI. And this is what I have experienced. I've come across instances where AI interprets what the user wants, but the API fails. Right? The API is not robust. Or if the API works, the data it returns is not correct. Right? The response on the API is incorrect because the data that was supposed to be curated was not curated, and and because of lack of data governance, the quality of response returned by the API was incorrect. So the user ultimately gets the impression that is the AI that doesn't work. Oh, you know what, like we are using LLMs, agentic AI, we are doing experiments and things are not working. If the same thing was seen by, like a software application, then the perception would be different. Then the third thing I mentioned was, you need to have buy-in from the stakeholders. There are many cases, if the project is sponsored by IT or by the AI department and business is not involved, then no matter how good an application you develop, the business may not use it. And if there's no usage of it, then all your effort goes a waste. So around this, from these experiences, we figured out what needs to be done. So the work at Yatra is done in two ways. One is to solve existing issues, if possible, with AI. And then second is to continue to innovate, right? Whether anyone is asking for it or not, but continue to innovate so that, so that we are not stuck, like chasing things a few years down the road because we were never ready with AI. So the few things that we have solved, some use cases, Harneet, now going back to your main, theme, is processing of documents. So Yatra deals a lot with corporate customers, like for the corporate travel, and they continuously they actually ask us to get them invoices. Like they want the GST invoices so that they can take the GST input from the government, and the GST invoices will come from the hotels. Now, many times the invoices are, have wrong GST number on it, the amount is incorrect, something or the other is wrong. If I have a human being doing this, and I'm getting 1,000 receipts a day, I need 10 people, at least 10 people to look at those receipts. And then they can read the receipts only in English or Hindi, right? And if there's a receipt coming from the southern part of the country, I don't think, since Yatra is located here in Gurgaon, you won't have resources that will understand the receipt. So how do you handle this? So here we have developed an application where the hoteliers would upload the receipt. Our system will automatically read it. And this is where the vision analytics capabilities of LLM come into play. We don't use the old and traditional OCR because that's very limited. Right. So like we figure out what's in the receipt, then we extract the GST number. Sorry. And then we compare that, excuse me, sorry. Then what we do is we compare the GST number extracted from the receipt with the GST number on the booking itself. If there is a match, if the amount matches, let's say within plus minus 10 rupees, we send that invoice to our customer, and when our customer receives it, then they release the payment. So here, what has happened is that we have smoothened the process. This was a non-functional and a broken process. So we have smoothened the process. We are not hired people to solve the problem. And now that we are getting payments on time, right? So our interest cost, because every company works on loans, right? And you have a credit line from the bank. So now we receive money on time, so we can pay on time. So our interest expense also has gone down. So yeah, so like this so this is a multifaceted thing. Then we developed, an expense management solution. It's called Receipt Capture. What it does is it captures all the expenses of our corporate travelers. Again, they submit receipts, and we have some international companies also like Mitsubishi and Isuzu and all, and they have a lot of travelers coming from Japan. The receipts are in Japanese, right? Kanji, Katanga, whatever. Now, how do you read those receipts? Furthermore, many companies do not reimburse for alcohol if it's consumed in the meal. So how do you figure out there's alcohol in there, right? So humanly, it's not possible. And again, we use the vision analytics capabilities, and then we extract the relevant information. We ask the right questions, and then we figure out, like what the receipt type is, whether it's a cab receipt, hotel receipt, flight receipt, or a meal receipt, things like that. And then if it's a meal receipt, whether there's any alcohol in it or not, what are the taxes? You have to also figure out the tax on alcohol, right? So it's not just that, if the alcohol for $100, the tax may be $25 on it. So you have to subtract that also from reimbursement. See what I'm saying? So here, the problem becomes quite challenging, and we have to continuously rely on LLMs to help us out there. So there are a lot of cases like that. Other cases, our corporate customers, they will send us an email saying that, hey, I'm looking for a flight from Delhi to London, and I want to go on this date, but tell me if I can go 2 days later, what are my options? I don't want to take Air India. I don't want to go through Middle East, So if a human being were to take all these emails, it would take at least 1 hour, 2 hours to go and figure out, what options to send. But here we understand the intent, we understand what the email is saying, we read it, then we send a suitable professional looking response with multiple options. So that has been a huge winner for us. And besides that, on the innovation side, so like these were actually solving problems. Here we are now able to effectively say that, hey, we don't need so many people to do the job, so that they can be deployed elsewhere. So we never say that the people will be laid off, but we say that we don't need to hire more, and we can fill other vacancies, right? And as the company grows. On the innovation side, we have this bot called DIYA, DIYA. It stands for Digitally Intelligent Yatra Application, DIYA. So here you can create complex itineraries. Now, itineraries can be created by any LLM, but the thing is, no LLM will integrate it with any live inventory. So if I say that, hey, I want to go to Europe, I want to go to, let's say, Eastern Europe, and I can say include multiple countries in my itinerary, and I want to stay overnight in those places. So the LLM will generate the itinerary. It will say, hey, from Delhi, you go to Vienna, and then from Vienna, you go to, I don't know, like Prague and Budapest and Slovakia and all that, right? And it will tell you the dates when you should leave, when you will be staying there overnight. Then we take those dates and we say, okay, here are the hotels you can take in all these cities.
Then you build your own algorithms.
Right. Yeah. So like this was not possible but now we are able to integrate our live inventory with the results of LLM. We are able to generate a full itinerary showing all the hotel options, showing all the flight options, and then we recommend a package, a deluxe package, or a budget package, and or the user can create his or her own package. So here now we have moved from the world of static packages to dynamic packages. So I mean, like for example, if you're going to Bangkok and like Pattaya, if you want to say I want to go to Phuket, the package will say no. I mean, like I'm like, it's not part of the package, you cannot go. But if you create your own dynamic package, you can do whatever you want with it. And that is the flexibility we have provided. It's not there. You won't see this kind of thing anywhere in like any of the bots. So this is what so here we try to balance, solving actual problems with the kind of innovation we try to do.
That's huge, sir. And this all has been developed in past 2 years, right? Because before
Yes,
that, sort of
that's
it's
right.
not possible. And this is all in production grade, like consumers and
Yes.
corporates are using.
Yes. All this is live. So one thing that actually continues to surprise me is that, I hear that 80% of the projects don't go to production, and I keep wondering why. If you have done a thorough job, if you understand what you're doing, right, then I see no reason why this cannot go into production. Yes, so maybe the use cases are not there. Maybe there's no customer buy-in.
Right.
That's why
right.
they fail. I don't know. Yeah, but
sometimes the compute cost becomes very high, right?
Yeah.
So at scale, so you really need to optimize for that.
Yeah.
So got it. I guess that's very interesting. Even happy to connect offline to understand more, because a lot of these challenges are faced by other organizations where the solution is not there. Like, for example, I can have a lot of follow-up questions that how do you ensure accuracy? What are the kind of guardrails and what kind of, built-in barriers you have so that, nothing goes beyond this thing? How do you control your compute cost? Because your user is not going to be paying extra, right? So how do you kind of inculcate all this cost which can come in? Maybe I'll come to you with some of these questions in the final round.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. But lovely insight shared by you. Thank you, Dr. Shakti. Manoj, would come to you specifically. Tell me now, I guess Dr. Shakti has shared a lot of success case studies. Tell me a few areas, if in your experience, where it is failing badly, right? And what are the things to be really, really aware of? Some use cases or, some areas where it's not there yet.
Yeah, so thank you, Sakti sir, because is a more relevant what Sakti sir is doing. Same thing we have started, and because AI, I would say, very relevant for travel industry, right? So now is a very interesting use case, and we are adding a couple of more points. All OTA basically they don't have a own product. They are selling airline. They are selling hotel. So now airline hotel is changing the fare, especially airline changing the fare every moment. Okay, so it's very difficult to maintain the fare at yourself, right? You are dependent upon airline's fare, right? You don't have a control. So AI playing a very vital role here. So as Satyas explained, all the itinerary created, n number of itinerary AI created and create a own database, or you can say own caching we can create. Now, instead of hitting the API every time with the airline system, we can give the faster way of giving this your itinerary you're talking about. So this is a one way, basically AI playing the very vital role, number one. Number two, what we have just, I'm doing the pilot run actually right now. None of them, as of now, doing the web check-in. Yes, web check-in only happening on the airline side. No OTA is doing that. Except one OTA, I cannot name it, but AI going to be play major role if for the public domain, if you give the PNR and AI will issue the boarding card. This is a problem statement. But this problem statement, how we resolve, and then is back-to-back API run and get the boarding card boarding ready. Why this benefit is when passenger forget the boarding card on the way at the airport and immediately they want to, okay, why not we do the check-in on the way? He immediately chat to the AI, given the PNR number. Of course, there are security layers also involved. So immediately they pick the boarding card from the airline system and issue the boarding card or QR code, whatever we call. And immediately, one more use case I'm adding additionally, that boarding card upload on the DigiYatra and your journey will be completed. So these are ecosystem we try to build, and trust me, within not few years, few months, you can see that it's going to be reality. Number one. This is a very interesting use case.
Like what quick commerce did to e-commerce, I guess AI can do to travel, right? It is just booking and commerce and then check-in and finally even I'll say hotel thing, right? So I face this problem because I have to travel a lot between London, Delhi, and now Sydney as well. We are expanding in Australia. So of course, a lot of travel, a lot of hotel stay. Even in the best of best hotels, I see there is a waiting time when we check in, right? Unless you own a already membership card, minus that, which is not always possible to stay, because I'm a person who likes to explore new places. So I stay at different hotels. So this check-in at the hotel, specifically in the Asian countries, it's still manual. You have to wait and a lot of this stuff. If that can also happen via this face recognition or any of such recognition, I don't know whether Shakti sir, you were working on that, or that is a ask or a use case or a problem. But this is a real problem that they still make you wait. And I guess the more premium customer segment, they want to wait, the less people want convenience, right? It's quick check-in, quick travel, quick this thing. You enter, you have something, and you directly go to your room and all that stuff without waiting or signing or giving your ID and all that stuff. I guess there needs to be a better way. I'm not aware of the people or the platforms who are doing that, but I guess as a consumer, I'll definitely pay a premium for doing that, or a differentiating factor will be there if I book from one OTA or other OTA. Yeah. Yeah, Manoj.
Yeah, so I would like to one very interesting example. I work with one of the fintech company. I know problem statement was fintech company normally giving the loan in maybe 1 day, 2 day, or till 4 o'clock, 4 hours in between. Right now, we have used AI, and trust me, within 7 minutes, customer get a loan. How? Because as soon as customer asking apply the loan in a loan application through website, and all the API, whether it's a PAN, Aadhaar, CIBIL, all those API back to back running, and within 8 minutes, customer get loan amount on their account.
True.
So that's kind of be innovation we have done. I mean, not
Already
we, but entire fintech company doing. And trust me, there's a lot of competition in this market. If fintech company not adopted AI today, trust me, they're going to be out of business.
Dinosaurs. Yeah. But there is no incentive in travel to do that, because yes, this kind of onboarding is happening in fintech already, and not right now. Even before AI, like I remember 5 years back, I invested in one of the fintech companies, and their USP was this 5 minutes loans, right, where you kind of do all the onboarding, KYC, check-in, all the government APIs are there. We can validate Aadhaar, PAN, DOB, everything, and can validate the credit score and disperse a small loan. I guess that's for maybe loans less than 1 lakh rupees, micro loans as they call it. So maybe in travel also, I guess there will be an incentive, or technology is already there, but that smooth global check-in experiences could be which AI can kind of reshape. I'll move to you, Hitesh. So let's say you come from this movie industry or entertainment industry right now and earlier. So what are some of the interesting problem statements you think which AI can add a lot of real value in terms of customer experience, business growth, or overall as a consumer? Because I'm pretty sure you must be a consumer of your own product, right? So what are your insights, your
So
wishful
I'll
thinking?
divide this into two parts. One is for Cinepolis and one is for customers. So for Cinepolis, what I would need to do, or which is a project which I'm currently working upon, is CRM. As you know, I in India only, if I talk about India specific, India, I have around 500 screens. So I manage a footfall of around 4.5 to 5 CR customers. Those customers come to us, they buy tickets, food and beverage. Of those 5 crore customers, I have the data of the phone number, emails of, let's say, 50%, because some of them give, some of them don't give the numbers, some of them give wrong numbers as well. But whoever does an online transaction, I'm sure the number is correct, because I have to scan the tickets and then I have to let them go. So what I am doing currently is I'm analyzing that pattern from past 5 years to build a warehouse where now we are putting on AI. We are currently working upon choosing a partner who can help us to do that. The marketing partners like Netcore, you have CleverTap, you have MoEngage and other partners. So what I'm doing now is connecting that data securely to those guys to do an automation where I could feed in just a message that, okay, give me these customers who have done purchase of this, send a targeted message, get these things done. That is one level of work that currently we are working upon, which I think will probably take around a couple of more months for getting us implemented. If I can do that fast, that will be one area to see how I can segment the data fast.
Right.
Second set of the question would be from a customer point of view. What customer has to do is they have to come into the cinemas, show the QR code on their phones, which we scan it. Can my CCTV recognizes them that, okay, which customer it is, there is no need to scan and I can just let them go.
Mm,
How that matrix can work is another area which would be helpful. And just going into a deep in this question, let's say I have CCTV inside the auditoriums also.
mm,
We're also working with a couple of companies to test it out whether, let's say, if I've sold 4 tickets in one Audi, 5 tickets in another Audi, and how many people are sitting there.
mm,
Calculate that, match with the ticketing data which is sold, map the people, and then if there is a difference, send an alert.
mm.
So those
Lovely.
kind of things is what we are working upon at the moment, and that's a problem statement.
Interesting. See, the first one is pretty sorted, as you said, right? Happy to even talk in detail because I guess that's an area where you can also build it yourself as well today. Because with Claude and all that, how do you kind of hyper personalize your customer journey and what kind of communication could be sent? But second one is really interesting on the vision language model because I guess that can become a real uh, ROI or a differentiator when people get that kind of seamless experience. And with Digiyatra operating at that scale, it is possible, pretty much possible, right? You don't need to put the security staff over there. And then I guess you can also maybe fix leaky revenue buckets. I don't know whether there is, entrance without tickets
There
happening.
is lot, there
There
is
is,
lot of that happening. So that's
so,
why I'm counting how many tickets are sold, and these generally happen in high footfall days. So
uh,
Dhurandhar came in, and
hmm.
all of our auditoriums were having an occupancy of 80% more. My
Oh,
average size is, let's say, 180.
hmm,
80% of that was already sold. So at
hmm,
that time, it becomes difficult for, let's say, even a security to go in and count people, because
hmm.
it becomes distracting for the customers also. That why is
Right,
this guy counting like, okay, this. So that
right.
becomes a problem. So if I put a camera which is already there, some
Hmm,
kind of metrics, link it to my ticketing system, if it can do all those things and send me a report that, okay, these were matching, let's say which were not matching, send a WhatsApp alert immediately to, let's say,
hmm,
corporate office, then
hmm.
we can take actions. So
Right.
those kind of things is what is needed.
Happy to try our vision language models for that challenge. I am just right now thinking about whether the when you capture the feed, there is I guess darkness in the auditorium. So what do you get? What kind of images? But happy to look at that. This
Yeah.
is a very interesting use case to solve for.
Probably one more thing, if I can add on this only,
Mhm.
is recording piracy.
Mm,
People are using phones today because now phones are having all those tech which earlier was there in DSLRs,
yeah,
stabilization, the low light, and whatnot.
yeah.
So this should also maybe detect that, okay, if somebody is holding a camera for, let's say, more than 30 seconds.
Mm,
30-second clips generally I also make. Let's say, okay, I'm
mm,
watching Durandar, I'll make a clip, post it on Insta. It's fine. If it
mm,
is more, then probably can this help? I don't know.
mm. Interesting. I guess those are the problems to look for creating a seamless experience plus
Yeah.
dependable business.
And
Great.
we are actually having more than 7,000 screens across the globe. So if it can be implemented in India, why not take it to the whole globe?
Got it. Interesting. I guess pretty interesting.
So
Any
here,
people who are
yeah.
watching
So,
online, I guess. Yeah.
so here, Harneet, like, I actually remembered one thing when Hitesh talked about catching, automatically being able to count the number of viewers in a station. I mean, Amazon actually came out with this technology long before LLMs came out, where they had the stores. And I went to one store in London, I think it's in Ealing,
Mm,
that you can just walk into the store. You must have your Amazon app. You scan it, so Amazon knows who you are, who entered. Then you can simply pick up things you want and just like walk out of the store,
mm,
right? There's no cashier, no payment, and
mm.
this is all based on vision analytics. There are cameras all over the place. Probably there are like more than 1,000 cameras in a small store. So it
Right.
is capturing every movement. It is capturing what you pick. And suppose you picked something and you kept it somewhere else in a different shelf, it knows that. So basically, it does And by the time you exit the store, it knows exactly what you took. And then you're automatically billed for it.
Right.
Right? This is amazing. Like you don't even need a single person to
Right.
monitor what people are doing. No security staff, nothing, I mean, the whole AI technology will just do it for you.
So I guess I went to Nike store in US and similar thing was there. And only on the checkout, you just need to scan it and it gets billed onto your account or Klarna or whatever. Right. So I guess Amazon had a very, very advanced thing because of that thing. But the challenge to bring it to India earlier was it will require very heavy compute, very heavy models. But today there are some workarounds. For example, in the shelf, there are a lot of solutions. Even some of the companies we work with, they have building these retail solutions where basis the weight, basis some sensors, they're able to figure out that what is the amount, what is the material you have picked up, and they're able to kind of catch the billing and all. And plus final cart, right? Final scanning of the cart, they're able to bill you. And I guess these kind of workflow analytics maybe, so as I said, it could be AI, it could be process redesign, how you're making people enter, it could be via app that let's say only login. See, the simplest solution, Hitesh, what I can think of right now is the onboarding can happen via app, and a physical system needs to be put where only apps QR will allow them in, just like a Digiyatra kind of thing, right? Which is very, very simple. Of course, it will require a bit of capex change, behavior change,
Yeah.
but just thinking out loud, I guess it's pretty simple. Everything will happen via app. But someone like Cinepolis, it may lead to some of revenue loss because it must be some less digital native people. So there are, of course, more people who are watching movies than people who are going to airports, if I look at a business case analysis. So somewhat of that sort. But yeah, I guess interesting problems to solve. And what I believe, Shakti sir, the biggest thing, so we did a POC for one of the largest city governments in US, right? And this was same thing exactly, CCTV footages to identify crime and all. When we did a POC, so you were asking them when things don't scale to POC. When we did a POC, they said POC you don't use your own rabbits models. We are fine using a GPT. We have approval of using GPT, but you build your own intent classification models and vision models on top of that. So we built that POC, identify all these areas, and was well in thing. Now they're like, we are happy to go live, and it was a big project for us. It is a big project for us currently ongoing. So what we did was they said, okay, now we want to deploy 10,000 of these things across the every street of New York and every place and all that stuff. And then when they figured out the cost of doing that every second analysis of those cameras, they being a big government, big budget, they said, Aneet, we have to sell ourselves 20 times before paying you. So this is the exact, exaggeration of cost and all. So then that's where the real challenge comes in, and we started thinking, what is this that I can reduce the compute cost? And then we kind of created some other architectures which work on very small chips and on device, where you don't need to have that kind of data centers to process that information. Because today, even if I tell you another industry which faces this problem is proctoring industry, exam. So no provider in the world is able to give and store the entire 2 hour, 3 hour video and analyze it at every moment. People only look at alerts and all. So this is a problem where people are saying, for those high security examinations, can I do better proctoring? So be it better proctoring, be it shoplifting, be it CCTV for crime, be it entering in Cinepolis, or be it entering in a other area. I guess the entire application era, I believe, and you guys can correct me, I believe it's entire wide open. There's a lot of scope of innovation, deep tech, new companies to come up and partner and build those solutions, which enhances business, enhances economy, and also creates convenience for the people, right? So this entire, I will say, bucket is empty for retail, for even travel, and all that stuff. Yeah, sir.
Yeah, actually, I have to join another meeting. If you allow us to leave it signing off.
Okay. If you can wait, maybe we'll just wrap up in the next 10 minutes, or otherwise we're fine. You can share your final thoughts, and we'll take it from others and build from there.
All right, 12:15. Okay, we'll continue with 5 minutes. Yeah.
Perfect. Great. So I guess last question which I have, and maybe some of you or all of you can answer that very quickly, is now in all this process, how do we, you as head of ITs or CIOs, how do you think the talent readiness of tomorrow can be done? And very quick tips on that, right? For even the audiences and all. So for companies like who have 100, 200 people in tech teams, right? And overall teams, to the companies which have thousands of teams, the large IT companies, what is your approach, quick tactics, which really works for upskilling or talent transformation? Because the new world, the new systems will require different kind of approach and mindsets. So maybe quick points from all of you, and then we can, just conclude this. So Shakti sir, your things on this. How big is your team, which is the tech team at Yatra? Just what is the size, and then how are you taking care of the transformation?
Sure. So I am responsible for data sciences and new product development. And the otherwise, the IT infrastructure and other software development is taken care of by my colleague, Mr. Amish Amin, who is also the co-founder of Yatra. So my team is, I don't like to lead large teams. So currently it is anywhere from 18 to 20 people. And then we do 4 things, like those 20 people are involved in 4 things. One is data engineering and business analytics, Power BI kind of solutions. There is a team of 2 people which will do machine learning. So for example, if you want to know what is the optimal life of cash, right? As the Manoj had mentioned, that every search you do comes from cash. But if the cash expires, then the prices become stale. So how frequently should we renew cash? Here we use models, like the traditional machine learning models like XGBoost and all that. So there's a team doing that. Then there's a team which is working only on Gen AI projects, LLM projects. And so that's a team of around 6 to 7 people. Then I have a 3-person team which will do the application development, new applications like the expense management solutions and all that. But when we do applications development, AI is the central part of the architecture. It's not an afterthought. So that's how the whole team actually comes together. And then I think you wanted to know how we decide on projects. It's was that the question, or? Yeah.
How do you, let's say, transform the team? Let's say you have a large IT team.
Yeah.
Or any organization has large IT team. What are the skills which are required for the workforce to be AI native, AI ready?
Yeah. So see, in this case, my the team of my counterpart, that's a big software development team, and we have introduced Cursor there, and now they use Cursor in and out. For example, we had some old code which was in Perl, right? And Perl, it's not used that much. So all those APIs had to be translated to Java or something. So we used Cursor to do it. It was done probably in a couple of days. Then we spent a lot of time testing it, but the development time is cut down. And see, we don't need to teach people how to use LLM, how to write prompts and all that. Right. But there are tools which are already doing it for you. You just need to be able to, submit the right kind of questions, the right kind of PRD, and all that to Cursor, and it will generate the code for you, and then you take it from there. This is what we are majorly focusing on. Then we also have Google Workspace. So all the operations team people, all the business people, if they have to prepare presentations, create proposals and all that. So we have taught them how to do it. Go and use your Gmail and see whatever is in that, and take other documents and feed it to a Google Workspace, which is basically Google Gemini, and it is going to create a nice proposal and all that for you, right? So this is also where AI is being used in our daily working by people who have not even touched technology ever, who have not written a single line of code. So depending on the team, my team does hardcore AI work, then the AI team uses tools to do their development, because the core nature of their work is to do software development, not AI development. And then you have all these operations and business people who use AI to facilitate their day-to-day work. If they send emails to our customers, the email should look professional and all that. So we ask them to, write your email, and they'll vet it through a Gemini and then send it out. So this is how we are trying to transform the organization. Yeah.
Lovely. That is
piece by
lovely
piece.
Insights, very practical insights.
Yeah.
Great. Manoj?
Yeah, so a little bit different way of thinking about AI, because AI is not only IT job, it's entire organization activity,
Correct.
right? Because business people also play the vital role for AI part. Now, technology, if you mean the technology, yes, technology is a enabler, but what workflow is going to be integrated with the other system, that is a business call. Because why? Business is changing every day.
Mm.
When you create something and it will not running in silo, we have to change every time depending upon how business, like say traffic coming to website, traffic coming to mobile app and different sources. So now AI managing the traffic also. I've given a very good analytical part of that. Now business team says, no, you change a little bit AI, and I needed traffic from the DSA, from third party, for example. So AI play the role, and given the dashboard, yes, now traffic is moved from web to B2B or XYZ. So every time we have to fine tune your workflow and based on your business logic. Number one. Now, coming to train people, basically, we have an organization where we, in boarding process, we giving, first of all, we are what we are organization level of culture. Second, we are inducting program, we giving inside of the, not only AI, what should do, what should not do in-house activity. For example, when person is on board, whether HR or IT or any other sales department, it should be themselves learn about what is security parameter, how to send a mail to your colleague or even inside or outside,
Right.
and what should be not allowed to say. Even those small disclaimer, you cannot add it. You have to have a countrywide information to go with. Number one. So those part of the security part, like say sending the mail, sending the document, what document should we go out, all those things we teach them in the induction program itself. Then when we going on the floor, they should know what they need to do that. That is the IT job and given to entire people. Now, last couple of months, we are also giving the AI landscape. Yes, how organization taking AI last next 5 years. That is also giving the onboarding people, so that everybody aware about that. What kind of organization culture? Now, this is an ongoing process, and everybody agree on that. Same time, we also experience adoption is very important. And yes, I would say most of our organization, there are certain people, their people mindset, they're not adopt any new things. They are not interested to learn it. This is we feel that the bottleneck, because not only low level people, even though top management people, some of the bottleneck they are not adopt, still they are not adopting AI part. They are still feeling that might be not moving forward because of some security lapses or maybe some like say government policy, right? Some organization need a PAN Aadhaar as soft copy somewhere in database because some requirement from government, you have to have 7 year data in your cloud or on-prem, wherever it's not required in soft copy, because everything is real time, matching. So no need to do that. But because of security landscape, because of government regulations, there are so many bottleneck is still there. They are still not opening. So very difficult field to implement those AI part of with our organization. Now, I will give you one liner. Let's say we're talking about last 2 years about DPDP Act. Hopefully by November this year going to be implemented. Okay. So yes, is a good framework as of now created, but trust me, if going to be in force of DPDP or enterprise level, there are a lot of issue will come, and that is why our enterprise level people not happy or even not comfortable to implement fully AI within the
That's where they have
organization.
to put their human precision, where to use, where to not, and how
Yeah,
do you own it, right? It's like not just buying a car, but also knowing how to drive it
how
safely.
to drive it.
right? So that
Exactly.
is where the org leaders really have to take the charge. Great thoughts, Manoj. Final thoughts, Dr. Ritesh, and we'll then move to the
Um,
conclusion.
I'm probably very naive on the AI, so I will not have much of the things which I can contribute. But as I mentioned, problem statements are there. Couple of more use cases maybe on data security part. We have to be sure on the data security, how the data is being translated, which is being sent. So those kind of things is what I am actually looking forward for. Your comments, certainly, maybe we can connect next week to see how we can really build this up.
Sure, happy to help. So finally, I'll first of all thank you, all three of you, Dr. Shakti, Dr. Hitesh, Manoj, uh, for being there, for taking out your time, sharing, listening. Right, this is where. So one thing I for sure say that one thing which AI can never replace is this human collaboration. And because AI is becoming more and more smart at other things, we need to build more of human collaboration, human learning, and the human agency, I would say, right? Human curiosity and human agency are the one things which will lead the future for sure. And I have a very small analogy with which I will kind of conclude. So we say out of all the implementations we have done at large scale for Oman government, Australia government, and other areas, and a lot of other GCCs we work with, and enterprises in Europe, we have realized or kind of segmented as three layer of AI, right? Number one layer is the tooling layer, tool. Level two is platforming layer, platform, and level three is the systems layer. So a lot of organizations today are at level one. Some of them are at level two, and nobody is there at level three. Everybody is striving to be there at level three. And I have a very small analogy which I'll share. It is Satyug, Treta Yug, Dwapar Yug kind of analogy. As humans evolved through those yugas, AI is also evolving in organizations through that one. So Satyug was a yug where you say something to someone and they'll follow that for lifetime. अगर आपने किसी को कह दिया 18 साल यहाँ बैठ के तपस्या करो तो वो वहां बैठ के तपस्या करेगा, they'll follow that. That's it. Next prompt comes next. So people are very straightforward. That's what we compare to tools. One shot prompting where AI is like, okay, you generate these images for me. Whatever you say, it does, right? So all the level of adoption. Now in this layer, what will happen is your AI is doing bits and part things in bits and pieces, right? So you will say, okay, generate image for me, generate content for me, using AI for let's say image generation, content generation, email thing, which are one of use cases solved by one tool or the other tool, but that's will only lead to individual productivity, right? That will only lead to individual productivity. अगर आपके developer ने 8 घंटे का काम 4 घंटे में कर लिया, what is the thing he will do for the next 4 years? So if that is not orchestrated, it will not lead to ROI or org readiness. Then comes the natural evolution is level 2, which is Treta Yuga, where you want principled systems which autonomously decide, but on a very principled thing, right? So you have equivalents of Lord Ram over there, who is a principled guy, is known for his principles. That's what is agentic AI, right? So you have your org's principles, right? You have your tribal knowledge, you have your domain knowledge. Like this is how it humans in our org used to work. This is where how we handle customer this thing, how we handle our coding thing, how we handle this thing. You try to implement that in your task, as some of you were saying, task knowledge we give to AI, and that's where agentic AI and how you deploy it. That's a separate technical question, but whether you build it with SLMs, what we do, right? Open source models on prem, or using APIs of Claude or GPT, or fine tuning your own models, building your own layers. But that's a workflow automation thing where you pick up a workflow and complete it end to end, right? If the workflow is lead generation to this thing, then that workflow is entirely automated basis some principles. If the workflow is cash to reconciliation to tax filing, so then that's a workflow. You design principles for that, and agentic AI and your systems do that for you with human supervision, and human is providing the values, right? And this is where the most ROI we believe can come. The Treta Yuga, the second layer, agentic AI. Then there's a third layer, third level, which is systems, which is strategy, which is Dwapar Yuga, right? Where you need Krishna, where you are not concerned majorly about how you do it, but you need real insights. You need, and Arjun needs a Krishna to navigate the entire war field, and you can win with 5 people on one side, 1,000 people on the other side, you can really win. that is where the AI, the real world which AI has to promise, and on the context on which we also started Rabbit AI, we named the company as Rabbit AI, that in the world of AI, big is no longer beautiful, small is soothing. Small language models, small teams can make mighty impact. And this is where we believe, as Shakti sir was also saying, his team of 6 people are today doing Genya, and probably they're building systems for, even in a large organization, they're able to build solutions probably which will be serving at a million scale, right? At a population scale. And this is what we are seeing even with companies like OpenAI and Claude, the way they are approaching and progressing. Small teams have been able to build large impact things. And this is where the real value of AI will come, whether from inside the enterprise, outside the enterprise. And the biggest defining layer for that is when AI is used for business decisions. So I'll tell you, we work with a lot of universities also in India and Middle East. I serve on the board of them. One of the owners asked me, I need AI to be that ready where it can analyze all the data, talk to all my people, look at everything, and finally tell me कि इस साल मैं BCA in AI course launch करूँ या MBA in AI, BBA in AI या MBA in AI launch करूँ. Because he said, I have limited infrastructure, right? My buildings are fixed, my faculty is fixed and all that stuff. I can launch only one course, additional course. Now, should I launch a BBA? Should I launch an MBA? When that time comes, when I am able to brainstorm that with my internal AI system, that is where we say that is level 3 adoption of AI, where AI is the real intelligence layer for you. Otherwise, it's just a tool or a platform to do something. But everybody is striving to move from a tool to platform to finally a system, where as an autonomous system, it is able to tell you the flaws, more ways of doing business, and executes that stuff for you. So this was our philosophy of trying to figure out what is all happening. And I guess right now, we believe the biggest opportunity and stress or the requirement is to move from that tool layer, broken tools, to a workflow optimization layer, which is probably agentic AI, where some of the workflows, org workflows are automated intelligently, and that can lead to, ROI. So that was something which I kind of had to share, or whatever we had learned through the process and still learning. Happy to keep continuing this conversation offline with all of you guys. I'm in the country as well, so you can connect in person as well, or over the calls for over the next few weeks. Thanks a lot for your time. Thanks a lot to all the audience as well who have kind of joined in, or who will probably watch this later. Thank you, Shakti sir. Thank you, Manoj. Thank you, Hitesh, for doing this, and thank you, Paras, for arranging this.
Thank you.
Thank you
everyone.
so much,
Thank you.
Harneet, Paras, everyone. Hey, Manoj. See you, Hitesh. Bye.
Okay,
Yeah.
bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a nice day, guys.